Hey everybody, just so you guys know it's live as well as so you guys know across the internets. It's about a 30-second delay, and so for some reason, if you want to like say text me a question or something like that, I probably won't get it for 30 seconds after we pass it, but you can still ask it. So you're more than welcome to text me if you have a question, or if you want to sign up for a YouTube channel, you can place it onto the social streaming as well. Either way, okay? Alright, so again guys, this is Earth Science. The reason why, we're doing this via Ustream as well as through the internet. The people in the room now should be basically M through Z. There may be a couple people here and there that have had prior conversations with me while they're here, but A through L you should have showed up at 8 a.m. if you had a D or an F. We're going to go over that. So again, this is Earth Science Week 2. A few things that we're going to go over this week is I want to know how your break went for people who are here. Basically, I want to look at what we're doing this week so you kind of know what we're doing. What changed this semester? Because people here last semester are like, what the heck is this? Mr. Hayden, this is different. And we're going to look at Science Notebook because the Science Notebooks I looked at, some of them were awesome sauce and some of them were horrible. If I took the name off of them and showed them like a good one and a bad one, you guys would be like, oh my goodness gracious, this person really turned this in. And it bothered me. So I want to make sure that you understand all the expectations this time. Because I did, but you guys weren't paying attention last time apparently. And also we're going to go over how to take effective notes. So let's go ahead and get going. So what did you guys do over break? Anything good?
Video games, and more video games.
So we played video games, and I believe video games? I think it was video games the last one. That's good. What else did we do? It's okay. It's just recorded on the internet through YouTube. Don't even worry about it. They can't see your face, so no one knows who you are.
Trips to Oregon?
Trips to Oregon. Remind me to go over Oregon later. We'll look at Oregon on the map.
I went to Six Flags.
Six Flags of the Magic of the Mountain that Mr. Hayden does not go to because he will throw up. I get motion sickness. You laugh. Physics day last year. Ask Miss G. Wasn't very good to have Mr. Hayden stumbling all over the ground after he got off the roller coaster. It was bad. I couldn't walk. Straight line period.
Nothing, just went on my cell phone.
Cell phone playing, maybe some YouTube, like cat videos, huh? There's some good ones this year. Facebook, Twitter, Insta Facebook, Graham's face. Yeah, I like that one too. I went on MySpace and just hung out. There's no one there. There's no one there. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like walking into an empty room and just like hanging out by yourself. But whatever.
That's so 2009.
That's so 2009 and earlier because you guys are. I mean, that's still or like all. All right. So this is this week's schedule. All right. Let me go ahead and write on this bad boy. Okay. So obviously Monday there was no school. Okay. So I color coordinated this year for you or this semester. Make it really easy. Blue means take notes. Red, take quiz or test. Yellow, show up here at time said. Green is lab. Now, check this out. If you decide to show up to this thing every single week, which you should, I don't say it's just better, it's just easier and all that stuff. If you show up every single week to this, you're going to see more kids show up because we're going to go through D's and F's. Well, D's and F students will be required to come here. Like, oh, beat them down, they don't show up. They need you to show up. But if say a green landed on Tuesday, okay? So Tuesday at a lab. Okay, you're at home, whatever, but you know you're coming Thursday. Don't do it that day. Take that day, catch up on some work, move ahead, and you will do it on that Thursday. So whatever day it lands on, we will do it on that Thursday. So if it's on Friday, we'll do it on that Thursday. If it's on Thursday, hey, great, we'll do it on the same day. Huh?
Can you turn the volume up?
No, can you not hear me?
No, Neil Savage is just putting information on it. He's having problems hearing it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, it's... Give me a second here, guys. Tell him we'll get that straight. I'll get that straightened out. Yeah, tell him we'll get that straightened out. Tell him if it doesn't work out this week, we'll get the bugs taken care of, and we'll make sure that works next week, specifically for the gentleman. All right, so that's what we can do. Now, what I would do is after you're done with this stuff, Just cross it out, and when you're done with the week, you're done. Okay, this independent study. You can work at your independent pace. This is like college. When you get done, you're done. When you get done for the week, you're done for the week. Awesome. I know people that finish science early in the week and they work on stuff later in the week. Honestly, as long as you get it all done, no one cares when you do it. Okay? No one cares. As long as you keep your grades up, no one really cares when you get it done. Some people still stick with the traditional school schedule because that's what they're used to. Some people move to more of a college type schedule where they pair up and they double up and they take do a day that they focus on other things. So what changes this semester is we're going to have the weekly, obviously, in-person stuff. There are going to be some more teacher feedback, obviously. Hopefully I can do a little bit more fun things I can't do via the Illuminate that you'll see in a bit that we kind of, the first people saw, we did some stuff with Google Earth and stuff. All that type of things. We're going to be doing labs on these days, and they'll be scheduled on the week. So again, if there's a green on that week, so next week I'm pretty sure there's a green. I just say the green because that's what the lab is. If there's a green box that week, we're going to do it on that. We're going to do it next week, next Thursday. So we'll do it here. I'll try to see how I can stream that live. I'm pretty sure I can in this class. It's when we get to smaller chemicals and harder. Alright, next please. Okay, in-person sessions. Now this is important for some people and not important for others. Again, every single week in session, this time A through L, 8 o'clock a.m., M through Z is going to be 9 o'clock, which this is it right now. I'll stream at 9 o'clock. And so if you have an A through C and you choose not to come to live session in here, you can watch it live via Ustream or the recording on my YouTube channel. If you have a DNF, you're coming. Period. Starting next week, I'm pulling attendance, pulling the D's and F's, and you'd sign by your name, and if you don't, I'm going to highlight it, give it to the office. You missed 3 days, 3 consecutive sessions, or 3 sessions, we're going to drop you from my school. So, you're required to come.
It's not letting, it's not signed in.
Oh. Okay. Do me a favor, go into my send it came out? You know, send it came out? Okay. Guys, give me 2 seconds here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do this.
And just send it to him.
Yeah, just. Mr. Savage, I'm sending you a K-mail, just kind of going over some stuff if you can hear it. If not, hopefully we'll get that K-mail, we'll get it worked out this next week or so. Alright, so again, D's and F students, you're required to come. If you miss it, you will be dropped. Now we're going over expectations for the science notebook now. I'm going to kind of go over this a little quickly because most people in this room I think are good, but you at least get a quick little understanding. Plus I do check on this thing periodically so you'll be able to give you information. If you want to know where it's at in your class, all you have to do is log in. It's at the very bottom of your class where it's the science notebook. You click on that and it gives you the exact same information I'm about to go over. But apparently some people don't read that because it's scary at the end of the semester and they say, okay, so your science notebook, whoa, science notebook. What are you talking about? And I go, that thing that I talked about every single Illuminate recording that I did, also every time a lab happened I brought it up. Oh, and I brought it up just randomly through K-mail. The thing I told you about 30 or 40 times about, yeah, it's that thing. And it's also in the class at the very bottom when I told you that. Yeah, it's that. You'd be surprised. So let's go over it. Cover page. I do not care how you set up your science notebook as long as it's organized. It's in order, sequential, things like that. I do not care. If you want to use a spiral notebook, single subject, go for it. If you want to use composition, go for it. If you want to use paper, okay, go for it. I don't care. Okay, as long as it looks good, it's organized in some sort of a file or folder. Spiral notebook would be great.
Can we use our old one?
Yeah. If you want to use your old one, I'm not going to look at the content from the old one, so you can just take out your string binder and you can literally take the other one, roll it up, put it in a fireplace, and burn it. Don't care. Don't burn it in the fireplace. But I don't care what you did last semester. I'm not going to check that. Okay. What I'm doing is because it's not a, like example, the semester test isn't a test over everything. I would keep it just into the year because but I just keep it on the side. Just use the same stuff. Yeah. If you need it, great. If not, you can do whatever you want with it. Okay. A couple things are required: name of the class, name of the instructor, name of your name, obviously. My phone number, I want that on there, and the times of the sessions that we're going. Okay. There's a reason why I want you to do this. When I ask you a question, in general. And I say, well, okay, so blah, 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 like what class you in? Well, I don't know. Look at your science notebook. What's the name on the front? I'm on Earth Science. Okay, well, what day did you supposed to show up to the lab? I don't know. Oh, and then it literally is there. It's supposed to make you put information down that you're supposed to know. Well, why didn't you call me? Well, I didn't have your number. It's on your science notebook, hopefully. You can text me, call me, whatever you want. Just make sure you put your name and what you're asking for.
I have all my teachers' phone under one contact with the SCOA picture.
It makes it easier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, boom.
Saying I have your name as Mr. Hayden, Miss Demmer, all that.
Yeah, and the more contact you have with me, the better there's not going to be communicational errors. And that's the problem, what seems to be. Okay, table of contents. This is what I don't want this semester. Last semester people will be like, oh, unit 1 is pages 4 through 40. No, I want it done by lesson. So whatever the lesson name is, I want it broken down. It should be at least 2 or 3 pages. So example, on page 3, if it's unit 1, lesson 2. Then you will write down unit 1, lessons 2 name, then I'll show you how I want to put that, and then you will put it there, and that's what I want. Okay? Required, you can come in, if you need a question answered, more than welcome to. Now, what's the funniest thing I thought is that this is the one that students didn't even do. They're like, make a graph? What's that? I think I saw those in math one time. What are you talking about? So this is what I want. You're going to make a graph. That's what it's going to look like to start. You're going to write the percentages on this side. Starting with 0, going to 100. Have I lost anybody? You laugh. But I've done this and people looked at me like I just showed them a rocket science. They're like, "Ooh?" Like, have you ever seen a picture of a monkey doing rocket science?
Yeah.
And it's like, they're like scratching, some of the kids are like scratching their head going, I don't get it. We want to make sure you guys get this. So on the bottom here, you write whatever the name of your lesson is. So you write your lesson names, and then you just, boom, unit 1, lesson 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. You just put them on the bottom, and then put whatever the score is, and then you just graph them. That's all you have to do. Make one line for your quizzes, one line for your tests. They should be separate lines, not the same line. They're 2 different regressions. Okay, lesson notes. Now this is what I don't care. Now if you use Cornell, awesome, great, good for you. You're an avid, you learned all this stuff, use that. That's what was trained, do it. If you have your own note-taking style, use it. If you have an A through C and you're doing well, and I don't really care what your notes look like. I don't want these teachers to push something on you. If you have an A and everything, and someone's like, well, no, you're not successful because you're not taking Avid notes or Cornell notes, I'd be like, no. I would basically just call the teacher out on it. Like I would. Okay, little side note me. Basically from 6th grade to high school, I was in all honors, all AP classes, ran a good GPA, went to college, got a degree in finance, 2 master's degrees. During that whole time, how many times did I take Cornell notes? I think the answer is 0. I've never taken Cornell notes in my life. Because I have my own style. That worked. Now, if you have your own style, that works, use it. If you don't, Cornell notes is now your style. If you do not have a style, Cornell notes is now your style. If you bring me a piece of paper and it looks all jumbled with random words everywhere, and if not on a Cornell sheet or a Cornell looking sheet, I'm going to get mad. Okay, so if you don't have a style, Cornell is now your style. If you have your own, use your own as long as it's effective. If you have an F, and you go, this is very effective note-taking, I'm going to say, no, it's not, you have an F. Apparently it is not. So that's what we're working towards. Okay, this is one thing I do want, though. We can kind of skip, we already went all this stuff. I want at least 5 things written down. Now, if you don't want to put a vocab list in the back of your science notebook like I required first semester, you can put the vocab written by your own hand in your own lesson notes, as long as I can see them. So get rid of that in the back.
I'll do the vocabulary list.
Yeah, you can do it either way. I don't care. Make sure that you have your name, the lesson name, the goals of the lesson, things like that, and I'll show you where that's at. And then all this, you put definitely charts, models, things like that. You can copy from the internet and paste that, just the the pictures and stuff, to your left side. I don't
Do we
care.
need to print out a new vocabulary list, or can we just erase what we did?
No, just print a new list.
New one?
You're not going to copy and paste. You have to write with your
I'm
own
going to
words.
print out a new
Yeah.
everything?
Yeah.
New one of everything?
I would just do new everything.
Okay.
Lab assignments, if you're going to UC or Cal State, you're showing up here. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. If that is an issue, contact the school and ask to be transferred to another. There's no way of getting around that. So you show up if you're going to go to UC or Cal State. Now, if you have a D or an F, you're going to be here anyways, and we're going to go over labs during those times. So just show up. Huh?
You're scared me.
Hearing me? Well, I'm just being straight. That's like part of the A through G, yada yada, that you need to do. Now, if you come here and you do your stuff here, we're going to do it via and all this stuff. I'll probably do some work, but I might not actually, I don't know how much of the lab I'm going to do online because I want the kid to kind of do it themselves to a certain extent. So I'll run that around in my brain. But you're going to basically write down your name like you did down here. That's how you're going to get credit for the lab. But you're going to have to take that lab and put it in your science notebook. Okay, so you'll take it home and you put it in your science notebook, or give it and give a copy to your homeroom teacher if needed as a sample work. Deal? Easy peasy. Vocab list again, back of it, or write your vocab in your notes. I don't care. Just make sure it's specifically said. Now, how to take effective notes. Okay, let's first of all, this is the way if you use the one that's inside the class, it should look. Mr. Hayden, that's me, top right hand corner. You can write this down in your composition. I don't care. As long as your name is on it, as long as the class is on it, as long as the date's on it, on the top right hand corner, I do not care. Okay. Now the lesson topic. A lot of people don't know what that is. Well, the easy way to do it is just look at your lesson. What is the lesson topic? What do you think the name of this lesson is?
Weather risk climate.
People couldn't find that. Surprised. I'm really happy you found it right away. Right there. That is the name that you need to write on your notes. And that's the name that you write on your table of contents for that page. There you go. Now, the essential concept. Every single lesson has its own essential concept that you need to know. It's like, I need to know this to get a good grade. Some kids. Some kids. Let's find out where that's at. Anyone can guess where the essential concept or the goals for the lesson are? It's over on the wall over there near the basketball court. Yeah, it's over there. Yeah, I know. No, it's going to be obviously right here where it says goals for this lesson. So I don't know if you can see it on the internet. I don't even know if you guys can see it here. It's kind of hard to see because of the font. Define climate and apply to a familiar region. We're going to do that in a second. Okay. Explain how weather and climate involved in transfer of energy and atmospheric conditions. Okay. That's what you need to know. If you, at the end of writing your notes, you can't answer those questions, you're not done. Answer those questions. Figure out those answers. If you get those, you will be fine. That's the main concept that you need to know. So that's what you would write down right there, which is essential question.
I usually thought it was like the question on the thing.
No, it's that one right
Like,
there.
how do climate and weather differ? I thought
And see, that's fine. And you're a really good student. And so if you couldn't find it, then it's something I have to go over. So that's my fault as a teacher.
Right.
I should have been more clear on that. And hopefully this clarifies it then.
Yeah, it does. I do the goals for this lesson now, right?
So there you go. Put it there, and then obviously you put your notes here, and you should be able to define these in here. You can put graphs and pictures in here if you want. You can put it on a page that's the page next to it. Your vocab list should be written somewhere on here too, and you just basically take notes. If you're new at taking notes, just take notes in this quadrant right here. This is where your notes go. As you get better at asking questions and answering your own questions via Cornell Notes, you'll focus on this section right here. Deal? Okay. Now, we're going to quickly just kind of go through. This is stuff you should have already learned, but I kind of need to go over this so we can do the Google Earth thing. Is that weather itself, and this whole paragraph right here, weather is short-term conditions of an area. See how long that paragraph is? That's what you had to write down. That's it. And you'll know that. How about this one? Climate. You want to know what climate is off the top of their head? Go ahead. Don't be nervous. Come on.
Climate is basically like how the desert and like the Arctic and things
Okay,
like
so you said desert. Describe to me the desert.
hot,
Hot,
Dry.
dry,
and sandy.
sandy all the time, right?
Right.
Pretty much all the time.
And pointy because of the cactus.
And cold at night.
You're talking biotic. We need to talk more abiotic. We'll learn that later, but that is correct.
Oh.
I'm talking hot, cold during the night, not very much moisture. Boom. That is that area.
And no water too.
And no water. That's area. Doesn't rain very much. That is climate. That is the way it is all the time. Now, don't get me wrong. You'll get a monsoon through there, or it'll rain cats and dogs. Not literally cats and dogs. That's precipitation, and then it'll go away. One day, if you show up during that rain day, and you show up that one day, and you're an alien, right? You came down from space, and you're down there like, wow, this area is really rainy all the time. That would be what you think. But then you go back the next 4 years, there's no rain like that again. So it's a wrong thing. You need to look at long-term conditions of that same exact area. The ways I pointed out, or what we call biotic factors. What does it look like? Is there trees? No trees? Grass? No grass? Is there an ocean sitting there? Is there a lake sitting there? What does this thing look like? You can know. I can literally blindfold you. And you guys know this from early age. I can drop you anywhere. If I drop you to a place that was green everywhere, you can't see the sky, there's snakes, bugs all over the place, and it's really moisture and it's raining all the time, where are you at?
Rainforest.
That's the climate. You just told me what the climate was. I explained the climate, you told me the region. That's exactly what you need to do. That's what you got to think of when you think of this stuff. What does it look like? What am I describing? Alright, so we're good. Okay, so a couple things. Temperature, obviously the temperature of the region means latitude on the earth, we're going to go over that. It means altitude, we're going to go over that. And also where it's placed at. So example, Florida, Montana. Which one is going to stay maintained warmer all year round?
Florida.
Why?
Florida, because it's in like an island or something.
Peninsula.
Yeah.
Right.
Peninsula. But why? Why does it stay warm?
Because it's always sunny over there.
Is it closer to the equator?
Close to the equator, latitude, very good.
Oh,
And
It's
It's by an ocean.
by an ocean.
right.
Bodies of water, latitude, altitude.
I had to figure that for a minute.
We're going to go over these, okay? So on the altitude component, as you go from here and you walk up to the top of a mountain, is it gets warmer or colder?
Colder. Those are the first one.
Obvious. I mean, it's obvious, right? There's like snow up there and stuff. It gets colder up there.
It's
Now, if we
colder
could break
because
it
the
down
air-
to like chemical, like, oh, the air molecules are less and they're separate from each other, and therefore there's less combination of collisions. Therefore, the average kinetic energy is less. Therefore, the temperature is less. I can go into all that stuff,
Sounds like chemistry. a little.
or I can just tell you it's colder up there because
Of the air.
there's less air. At this time, it was going to be less air. Now, we'll talk about this as you go across latitudes, why it's, even though it's on the same latitude and even the same exact elevation, why it still can have different climates. We're going to go over that in a second. Oceans help. Right there. Prevailing wind, so wind pattern, this is actually a big deal. We talked about this before you guys all got here. That example, see it's all like rainy and greeny and beautiful up there. You can tell there's rain in the water, so it's green. And this is all dry. Well, what happens is a lot of the moisture actually, when it comes out, it leaves the moisture, or it pulls moisture to an area and leaves from the other area. Example, the Ortegas right here. You guys know these like hills on the left, my right side. You've seen them before, right? If not, you should just step outside and just look. It's right there. On the other side, very green, Orange County, yada yada, ocean, Puget beautiful, whatever, South County. As the moisture comes this way, starts going up the hill, condenses, drops all this moisture on the ground, bunch of trees over there. As soon as the wind comes up and the air comes over the other side, lost all of its moisture, dry here. That's why it's dry here in Elsinore. So there's the reason for that, and then we'll go over that. Alright, that's what we talked about there. Okay, so the mountains will actually suck up the precipitation. You can see it here, it's all dry and everything on this side, but if you go to the other side of this mountain, it's probably, or on the other side, depending on where the prevailing winds are coming, it's probably green and beautiful. Alright, so let's look at the earth. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the United States. Let's look at Oregon. Okay? We had someone visit Oregon. Describe Oregon. Not the people.
My grandma used to live there.
Not the people. I got you before you did it. Describe the area. What does it look like?
Many hills and trees.
Hills and trees.
Snowing.
Trees are important. Was it snowing?
At the hilltops.
Hilltops. Latitude or altitude. Okay, that. But not towards the bottom. Okay, green or desert.
Great.
Green.
Green or desert. Right. Okay. Moisture, no moisture. Was it raining?
Yes.
There you go. Rainy. All that stuff is climate. And that's what you see right here. This is Oregon right here. And what they're talking about, and I'll just kind of point at the screen because I can't write on Google Earth. I wish I could. Is that this area right here is green because all the moisture is coming from this direction and basically losing its energy or losing its moisture here. And then as it pushes over the mountains on the other side, guess what? Desert. While you were there in Oregon, you guys were jacking all the moisture from Wyoming. How mean are you?
And you just turned
So mean. I just turned the earth. You see what I did? I'm so angry I turned the earth. Alright, but that's one part there. So that talks about in general, losing the wind movement. Now, one thing we want to look at here is
Vegas.
Vegas. I was going to look at Vegas, but we're not going to do that now. Vegas is fun.
Yeah.
All right, so check this out. Question came up before is why is it green in this vicinity and green in this area, but the wind should have lost all of its energy going across the basin or going across the mountains? Well, because there is moisture that gets circled up through the Gulf of Mexico and up through Mexico, and that's why it's desert here, because the moisture is actually bringing its way up. And moisture is making its way down too. We have cold and warm air. Hits right around this area. It's called Tornado Alley. It's one of the reasons why there's so many tornadoes in that area, and that's the reason why it's also green in that area. It has okay soil that's from the movement of sedimentary rock across the plains, yada, 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 dust storms, things like that. But that's why it's green there. Now, one interesting part is if you were to look at the same latitude, so let's look at the same latitude, and so let's just say right here and here. So this area here and this area here. On the left, so the west coast, Washington, same as Oregon. Rainy, not really that much snow. It's kind of it's cold but not freezing. Moisture comes onshore, keeps it kind of warm enough not to snow. Other side of the United States, snowing 10 feet. The reason is there's no wind for the water there's no water for the wind to go across.
There's a lot canyon.
Okay. So the air is super cold, it snows. Same latitude, same altitude. There's just no body of water that's warming up the rest of the area that the water's blowing across. The same reason why, if you were to look at Canada. Canada, is it snowy, cold, warm? It's a desert, what is it?
It's snowy and cold.
Snowy and cold because of their latitude. It is further up on the earth. Everyone get that? If you don't get that, raise your hand and I'll go over that. Okay, so I can zoom out and say, look where it's at on the earth. Like if we were to put this to the equator, like look how far to the top it is. Less energy from the sun. Now, so I'm going to go here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it, all latitudinal. I don't even know if that's a word, but we're going to go with it. Ooh. Come on, Earth, you can do it. So same latitude would rotate. Look at you have Europe. Europe is at the same latitude as Canada. Canada's snowing, freezing, cold all the time. Now don't get me wrong, some parts of Europe freezing, cold, all that stuff too. But in this area here we talked about, when you guys weren't around because it's the way it is, in Ireland and Dublin and the United Kingdom, it's not a whole bunch of snow. More rain, more moisture. Why? Look what's to the left of it. What's to the left of it?
Iceland.
No, look at the blue.
Oh, the ocean.
The ocean. So what happens is wind goes across the ocean. The wind can be 30 degrees. Hits the ocean, starts warming it up above 34 degrees, 35, 36. Guess what? No snow. You have rain. Brings the rain across, goes onto the island of Ireland and as well as the United Kingdom, and boom, guess what? Not as much snow, you have rain. Same latitude as Canada. Difference is there where is it coming from? Where is it at on the planet? Is there water next to it? Where's the wind coming from? And how high is it? Those are all things that are important to learn about this stuff. Okay? So, the essential question for the people at home is, why would, say, Canada, or let's use a different one. Let's use different. Why would Washington have a different climate than,
Washington, D.C.
let's say, New York? So think of New York, think of the climate, think of Washington, think of the climate. Why would they be different? I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now. You can go ahead and post that to your Dropbox inside your class and to get credit. Or you can answer the question in your notes and give me the notes. Either way, that's how you guys will get credit for this session. The people in live, we're going to discuss that right now. And then have a good rest of the day, okay?